Well, I have two other sisters that look very like me, but my name's Ashley. My other two sisters are Brenda and Brenda. So you might mix me up with those two.
So it's hopeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you
Did
see
they
me,
frost their hair?
my oldest, Teresa, she does not cross her.
See?
So
It's hopeless.
it will be. She doesn't.
Welcome, everybody. Can you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I live over where the twins live.
Jasmine Teresa.
James, if you could give the invitation, please.
James Atterbury, pastor of Amargosa Christian Fellowship. Let's pray together. O Lord our God, our Heavenly Father, we come to you by faith, requesting your favor and blessing upon this meeting of the Town Board of Amargosa Valley. We thank you for the gift of life and for the precious time we have, which is a gift from you. We thank you for giving us the freedom to assemble here to speak our minds. We pray that you'd grant us wisdom to govern well in a world that needs your grace. Lord, may you open our eyes to see the needs that are all around us and give us the guidance that we need to know how to best help others. Give us the confidence to do what is right, even when doing so is costly. Give us the strength and boldness we need to make decisions that are righteous, even though they may not be popular. Give us the courage we need to change the things that need to be changed and the resolve to carry it out. Give us the ability to work together in spite of our disagreements. We ask that you would give our town peace and safety, and that you would watch over the volunteer firefighters, as well as the 9 County Sheriff's officers who serve our town. Oh Lord, we pray that you would just allow this meeting to be for your glory and for the good of your people. And it is in the name of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, through the power of the Holy Spirit, that we ask for all these things. Amen.
Thank you, James.
So you gave me, you spoke 5 different names.
My name's Ashley.
No, my name is Come on, Trevor, have a seat.
Okay, approval of the agenda. We will be pulling 5, and 6. Okay, general public comment. Up to a 3-minute time limit per person. Action will not be taken on matters considered during this period until specifically included on an agenda as an action item. Is there anybody with public comment? Okay, please state and spell your last name.
David Hall, H-A-L-L. I just want to point out to everybody that, you know, there's a lot of work being done by Mason Ball and Amargosa Conservancy. He puts out a newsletter every month that highlights all the work they're doing, not only, you know, on the southern part, but on the northern part. I just want to point out a couple of things that in the February newsletter. One of the things that he's been able to come up with is what they call, and I'll pull it up here, State of the Basin Report. It's 96 pages long. What this is all about, it's all about the water, where it comes from, where it goes, how it gets there, and how much is being used. 96 pages. It not only covers quantity, it covers quality, it covers all the things that make the Amargosa River run all the way down to Death Valley. There's going to be a webinar, and he mentions it in his newsletter, along with a number of other things that are really important, I think, to Amargosa Valley itself. So if you don't subscribe to the newsletter, please do. Donate if you can. There's a lot of us. I had my great-grandson here, and he became a ranger at the park 2 weeks ago. That was pretty neat. I'll get a picture of that for Carolyn and show you. It's really cool. And he's really into all the animals and all the stuff that goes on in the world, and he's only 4 years old, so, man, he's got a lot on me, I'll tell you. The other thing that I want to mention is basin and range. A lot of times on Facebook, they talk a lot about the solar, about the power that's going and coming, how it gets there and where it goes. So if you're not on Facebook, just Google Basin and Range, and there's a lot of information on there that has to do with Amargosa Valley. Mason also had a little blurb on solar, his perspective on how solar will impact Amargosa Valley and then farther into California from here. One of the things he kept bringing up was balance, and that's really what we need, is a lot more balance, because right now we're kind of at the bottom of the foot when it comes to balance, because we're going to get all the stuff, none of the rewards, none of the benefits. It's all going to go to someplace else, but it's all going to take up our desert. I think that's all I should say on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Anybody else for public comment? Seeing none, I'm going to close public. Oh, wait a minute. Get up there. Scott, push the button.
That button.
There you go.
Technology, US. K-A-M-E-R-I-C-K. For those of you that I don't know well, I'm the science teacher for the middle school here next door. And I'm here to talk about an action item that I've asked to have placed on your next board meeting because I missed this one. We every year at the Amargosa School for the 8th grade students do an overnight trip we call the end of year trip. We do that because if you're aware of the fact that when they hit 8th grade, the majority of these kids have been in that school for 9 years. They've never been anywhere else. And it's almost a traumatic experience for them to graduate and have to go out to Beatty. And so we really try to take extra good care of them. And I got to tell you, your kids, those kids, make Amargosa proud. I'll give you a good example. We went to Tonopah. I'm a basketball coach, by the way. Mike knows that, basketball and volleyball. We went to the overnight Tonopah trip, and in the Tonopah station, I had 21 boys and girls, our two teams, that went into the restaurant and had dinner. While the kids were eating, the young waitress comes over to me and she goes, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, "What did I do? I don't know." She goes, how do you get those kids to be so courteous and kind and behave? I said, well, we expect things in Amargosa. We do things differently here. And when these kids go, folks, they make your name, the name of this town, proud in everything they do. So we try to give them this trip every year. Because financial support from the school district has been limited this year, we've had to do extra fundraising, and I'll be honest with you, we've fundraised our parents to death this year. And so I've asked to have an action item put on for you guys to consider to help support this trip. I plan on taking them to the Knoxbury Farm. The night we get there, we're going to do the Pirates Cove dinner. They've never done anything like that before. But we need help. Now I can tell you, and Mike can tell you, I'm really stickly about the kids using this facility. We clean it every time we use it. Matter of fact, we clean it, other people use it. Because I really want to teach the kids and work hard and make sure they know that they need to take care of this facility that you guys provide for us. So I'm only here to say it's going to be on the agenda, and I ask for your consideration on that, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, anybody else for public comment? Seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. Reports. Town office report.
Okay, too much paperwork. Okay, our total vouchers for the month of February come up to $14,718.42. Again, we are under budget with our expenditures, so we're staying right in line where we're supposed to. So I'd like to make a motion to pay the vouchers for the amount stated of $14,718.42.
I'll second. Okay, call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Okay, fire department report. Jessica?
Hello. Jessica Cadermas Wallflower, Kadramas-Walthour. I'm getting faster. I'm here with your fire department report. This month, we had a total of 21 incidences, 3 of which were fire, 16 medical, 1 public service, and 1 rescue. This year, I wasn't at the January meeting, so I didn't get to talk to you guys about it. Our reporting standard federally has changed. Our national reporting standard has changed. So the grouping for my reports is going to change. We now have different categories for things like public service. That used to fall under good intent last year, is where that category was. But now it's its own category now. Yay! Moving on into training, this month we did business refresher trainings with Sunshine Valley Solar as well as US Ecology to ensure our personnel remain familiar with site layouts, potential hazards, and emergency access considerations. Maintaining this knowledge of these facilities supports not only our safety but as well as our incident management, keeps it effective, keeps it simple. We've also been training extensively on our new Brush 42 truck, yay! We're reviewing equipment placement, pump operations, as well as deployment procedures. There's new stuff on that thing, new toy. That means a lot of playing with the toy. In addition, we're also working on incident command training. We're trying to really tighten up our scene management and how we handle and conduct ourselves on emergency scenes. As for equipment, Brush 42 is almost ready for service. We're finishing up getting the plates and stuff on it. I have an agenda item for tools. And then once that is all done, I just got to get it put in with dispatch and you'll see it out on the road, actually responding. It's going to be primarily used for wildland fire and car accidents, is what it'll be mainly used for, hence the tools. In closing, through continued training, equipment upgrades, and strong partnerships with local businesses, our department remains focused on preparedness and professional growth. We appreciate the ongoing support of our community and leadership as we continue working to provide reliable and effective emergency services. Questions, comments, concerns?
No, just a really good job. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, guys. Awesome. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
I'm going to make a break from the reports because we have our auditor, Dan MacArthur, here. Time presentation, Dan MacArthur, CPA, presentation of the Town of Amargosa Valley audit for fiscal year ending 2025.
There, the light's on now. Great to be with you here tonight. Here to report as indicated on the audit report for the town for the year ended June 30th, 2025. I am Dan MacArthur, M-C-A-R-T-H-U-R. To begin with, so everyone knows that there's certain requirements we have to follow as auditors when we audit the financial statements of the town. We follow what are called generally accepted auditing standards determined by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. We audit the financial statements of the town following and making sure that they follow governmental accounting standards. As part of that responsibility, there's several different things we're supposed to give opinions on. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about our opinion on the financial statements themselves. We're to obtain, I'll use the term audit evidence to make sure that the financial statements, the books and records are maintained properly and the financial statements are properly. And so this year, our opinion on that as we go through the books is that we have issued what we would call a clean opinion. If you read the audit report itself, it's a paragraph long to tell you that the books are clean. But I'm not going to read that to you tonight. I'll just tell you that the books look really clean. Also, as part of the audit, the state statutes require that we examine the finances of the town to make sure that there is conformance to state statutes as it relates to budgeting and financing and taking care of assets for the town. If there's been any budget violations. This year we have no comments. Everything is clean, totally compliant. The town just looks, financial statement this year from a compliance point of view looks really good. As part of a financial statement, we have to put some estimates inside the report. Inside this report, there is an estimate for what's called net pension liability. and I've explained this before, but I feel the need to explain it a little bit each year so it's really clear. There's a large liability that shows up in the financial statements, and it's basically the state of Nevada's unfunded pension liability. Statutes indicate if the town makes their monthly payments towards the PERS system that you have no legal liability according to the statutes, but governmental accounting standards require that we still put the liability in the report. So the number's in here, but it is an estimate, and it varies from year to year. The state uses actuarial consultants to determine that number, and we have no choice other than to use that. So if you do happen to look at this one night and you see a real large liability there for that, and want to get after the town board, don't worry about it. It's not their problem. It's just a requirement to be put in this report. There's some other estimates in here for sick and vacation time for employees. This year there was a change in the way those calculations are made. It was supposed to inform the board and those here tonight concerning this. Every time there's a change in accounting principle, I have to bring that to your attention. There is a change on how we estimate what sick and vacation time liability may be. The change here is really small, but it's required for us to put in here. It's only maybe $1,000 difference, so it's not really significant from my perspective. I'd like to just turn to some pages in the report and talk about some numbers in here. I realize many of you don't have a copy of this to look at, but I want to turn to page 17 and 18 inside the report. This is the page that shows, this would be like a profit and loss statement for a business. And it shows, so the town has 7 funds. It has a general fund, it has what's called the Public Safety Sales Tax Sheriff Fund and the Public Safety Sales Tax Fire Fund. Tourism and Economic Development has Parks and Recreation Fund and the Special Ad Valorem Capital Projects Fund. Where all these different funds are summarized, it indicates that for this year, and not that governments are in the for-profit business, but it basically indicates on this page, the third line from the bottom, it tells us what the increase or decrease of the profit and loss was in each one of these funds. When you total it together, it shows overall there was an increase in the equity of the town of $252,000. Frankly, that's a real positive thing. The town ends the year with equity of $2,379,000, and that excludes things like fire equipment, the new fire equipment you purchased. It excludes those type of things. And so from a financial perspective, the town is in really good shape. And I'm going to say, compared to several years back, it's just doing really tremendous. The general fund, where the bulk of all operations take place in relation to the town, it actually takes up about half of this equity. $1,185,000 relates to the town general fund. As I indicated, when we do look at the audits, we look to make sure that there's been no budget expenditures that exceeds the allowable budget, and during this year there were none. In prior year there was a couple of items where there had been items that were spent in excess of the budget. Nothing like that. There's been, to me, a tremendous effort made by this board to make sure that everything is in compliance, that the finances are maintained properly. So I'm just here to present, in my opinion, a real good report about the town's finances and the strong financial position the town is in right now. And I think the board needs to be commended for their efforts to make sure this has got the town to this point. Get there. In the back of the report, and we don't necessarily have to go to this page, but I did mention compliance, and there's a requirement for me to follow up on any prior year findings and tell you what the status is of those. As far as compliance, the only compliance issue that existed in the prior year was one related to budget violation, and the way to correct that is you just don't have any budget violations in the current year, and there were none. And so any corrective action that the town board had to take, they've taken it. Let me just take you to one more page. I'm going to get one more page in here. Just want to talk about cash for just a minute. Different from fund equity, because fund equity is the assets minus liabilities against equity. But at the end of the year, cash in the bank was $2,306,000. Town's in a real good, strong position there. during the year, some changes, investment income. There was $120,000 that was earned on the cash that was in the bank. This is actually invested by the Nye County Treasurer's Office. There has been some years because of changes in market value of the investments that this has actually shown a loss, but this year it's $120,000 income, and I just wanted to present that to you here tonight. One last comment about the sick and vacation. The liability on the books is not that significant. It just totals to $5,800. And this estimated net pension liability I talked about, if you look in here, it's at $850,000. But technically, it's not a liability of the town. So those are the items I need to bring up in my report tonight. A couple of other items that I need to bring to your attention is that as part of the audit, I mentioned the fact that there are estimates in here. Another estimate that's in here is depreciation on the value of the assets that the town has as they are used. There's an estimate on how long we're going to last, and so there is a depreciation estimate in here. If we had any difficulties in performing the audit, I'm to bring that to the attention of the board. And as we went through the audit process, we didn't have any difficulties this year. And if we came across any errors that we saw that needed to be corrected, I'm to inform the board of whether they were corrected or not in the financial statements. And we didn't find any significant errors. There were some bookkeeping items that were taken care of, but there were no errors we saw that were not corrected. And then if we had any disagreements in the process of performing the audit with anybody in a management position or anybody in a finance position, we're to bring that to the board's attention if there were disagreements. There were no disagreements we need to bring to the board's attention. Also, if we had to go and consult or get other consultants to come in and consult with us on some significant issue, we had to bring that to the board's attention also, and there was no need for any specific consulting like that, because there was nothing that's significant that took place that would require outside consultation as part of the audit process. In summary, I just think that the Amargosa town is in real good financial shape. I think the board's done a great job, and I'd just like to congratulate on that, because there's been a lot of years when I've been here saying bad things. I shouldn't say it that way, but you know what I mean.
It's okay.
Compliance type issues. So I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have or anybody might have.
I don't have any questions. I'm just very proud of the job we've done. And thank you for sticking with us.
You should be proud.
Trevor?
I understand that the board need not be concerned about the PERS unfunded liability, but as citizens of Nevada, should this worry us, or is this a national problem that the states let their expenses for retirement run away?
My personal opinion, it's a national problem, and for several years, this type of information was never put into an audit report like this. And I think the Governmental Accounting Standards Board wanted to be put in the financial still that nationwide everyone would be informed of the potential issue that with these unfunded pension liabilities.
Anyone else? Okay, board members, anybody? Okay, thank you very much, Dan,
Great.
for everything.
You bet. Thank you.
We have your signed documents too. See you next year. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Okay, did the planning committee have a meeting? Okay, so we'll skip to tourism and economic committee. Mike?
Really no updates. Nothing exciting, or not real exciting has happened. So just a couple of quick notes. So Valley Electric replaced 2 poles. Today you saw them working off of Cook Road and 373. They were doing that. And because of my affiliation with Valley Electric as a treasurer and stuff, I'm in a meet and greet Saturday afternoon with the governor. I will do my best not to explain my feelings on their energy policy. So I will be polite. So otherwise, we're okay.
Thank you. For everything. Yes, literally. Senior Center report, Dave.
Dave Hall, H-A-L-L, with the Senior Center report for January. Our February meeting, we saw our income above our outlay for expenses for our food, which is, that's a pretty good thing to be able to do. We had more people than we have in the previous month, and of course we always have a great meal. We still have about 5 people, I think, on home delivered meals, and we had over 400 people in the congregate that came in during the week and had lunch or breakfast. Commodities, for the month we served 106 families. That's about 375 or 76 people, kind of depends on the mix. The LDS has provided us again with some canned goods and paper goods for our pantries, so we restocked on that, and they will be here again on the 16th, again with canned goods and 3 or 4 pallets of commodities that'll get us through another quarter, along with the stuff that we get from 3 Square. So hats off to those folks. Next commodity distribution will be on March 8th. That's on a Monday. And like I said, on March 16th, we'll have another distribution of canned goods. Our thrift store, we've had a really good couple of months, a year really, and this month was no exception. Over $1,400 worth of sales. Judy and Marshall, they're doing spring cleaning, so we got a lot of good stuff that you may not have seen before. So come and get whatever items you may need. We also are working on a new Facebook post, which will highlight all the major items that are really hard to move in and out of our commodity building. So kind of look for that post under the Amargosa thrift store. It'll be there probably starting this month and continuing with some of the bigger things that we have for sale. Our pancake breakfast at yard sale went really well. Had a lot of nice vendors, a lot of good stuff, and we plan on doing that a couple more times during the year. Our next in April we'll have Amargosa Day, so there won't be any on the yard sale, but we will be there. We'll have our usual raffle and some food available, so look forward to Amargosa Days the end of April. A couple things that we have besides Amargosa Days. See, on March 27th, coming up this month at the end, it's a Friday, we'll have a couple of visitors that are running for political office, and it'll be an open forum. They'll have them come breakfast with us. It'll be Kyla Ball, she's running for Nye County Clerk, and Michelle Nelson, and she's running for District Attorney. So come and visit with them from 9 to 11. Bring your questions, concerns, whatever you have for the county, and see if they're going to kind of fit within what the county's looking for. I guess the only other thing I have is just kind of some summer news, but we had 2 of our long-term board members in the hospital recently. Gene Adams, Nora Rook, were hospitalized last week. Nora's returned home, feeling weak, and Jim's in charge, so that's a good thing. And Gene's still in the hospital and receiving care from the doctors there. So if you have a chance, get a hold of them, say hi, however you want to do it, through Facebook or an email or whatever. I'm sure they'll be glad to hear from you, or a phone call. So keep them in your prayers, and appreciate all the support the board has given us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Okay. Move to number 8 for possible action, discussion, and deliberation. I'll make the motion to approve the audit as presented for fiscal year ending 6/30/2025. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, call for the vote. Aye. Aye. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mike. Okay. A little early, but 7:15, we're going to move you up, Greenlink. Time presentation, Greenlink transmission line, update on the status. Please state and spell your last name. Safe travels, Dan.
Shahzad Lateef, last name Lateef, with NV Energy. I don't know how you follow that great audit report in town. Definitely I come out here and sit through the entire meeting, listen to it, and listen to what your school board is doing. So really impressive, and you guys should all be very proud. Okay, can you hear better? Well, I was just saying that you guys should be really proud of your audit report and what the school district is doing. On the Greenlink front, thanks for having me out here. Just like I said, Shahzad Lateef with NV Energy. I'm the person in charge of developing that Greenlink transmission system. And now, just wanted to give you an update. On January 22nd, we were given authorization by the Bureau of Land Management to continue construction of Greenlink transmission system. So we are doing construction now. As I was driving up from Las Vegas, currently there are about 5 or 6 poles north of Cold Creek Road, so where the Cold Creek turnoff is. And they're putting about 3 poles, 3 structures a day. There's 1 crew working. And I think later this month we plan to add another crew, and then followed by another crew. All the concrete work, all the way up to the substation is just south of Beatty. It's called Sagebrush Substation. All the concrete work, the foundation work is complete, and you could probably see structures laying on the ground. So at this time, they are just enacting those structures and getting them up. In late spring, early summer, you will start seeing conductor being strung across those poles. The conductor will be placed using helicopters, so you will probably see a little bit helicopter activity doing those conductor work. As far as materials and material yards, I'm happy to report we are at a stage where we are starting to close some of the material yards. We had a material yard at Cactus Springs right off of US 95, or I-11 corridor, whatever we're calling it. That has been closed, and our intention, when we release these properties from private owners, when we're done with it, we return it to the original state, remove the fences, remove any material, and it's actually returned back to its owner. In the Amargosa yard, we had a concrete batch plant. Just like I mentioned, all the concrete work all the way to just south of Beatty is already done. So that batch plant closed about 3 weeks ago. And we are still moving the material away from those material yards and into the right-of-way. So once the material gets moved and there's nothing left, then we return the yard back to its original state. That's kind of the key update. We have been given authorization to build the line as originally permitted. There's no reroutes or anything. So we are moving on putting together the line exactly where it was permitted to be. FAA, the Federal Aviation Authority, and Department of Defense have asked for some lighting along the way, some on the structures and some lighted marker balls on the wires. As you know, there's a lot of Department of Defense activities, aerial activities in this area, and they wanted to make sure that those activities can be conducted safely. So it's not the entire line, different segments as the Federal Aviation Authority, Department of Defense determines. They are asking us to put those lights. We are working with them to minimize those lights because in some areas these determinations are made in Washington, D.C. by very qualified personnel, but we have ability to actually survey those sites and say, do you really want this light right on the side of the mountain where we don't think you will be really flying, or there's already taller structures in the area. So we'll be working with them, trying to negotiate our way that we can still maintain operational safety for all those who are flying in that area while keeping the lights to the minimum. I think that's my primary update, and open to any questions.
Trevor?
On those layout yards or staging areas, like Cactus Springs and ours down here by the post office, you say you're going to return them to the natural state. Should I take that to mean you're going to pick up the gravel?
I'll pick up the gravel.
Yeah, you lay gravel on all of that so that your equipment wouldn't sink in the sand and your equipment.
We're not going to return the grading back to its however it was before. So it is an improvement on the land, but if the landowner wants it, the gravel removed, I'm sure we can accommodate something like that. But that should have been part of the lease agreement.
Dave, sorry.
I just have a general question, Dave Hall, HALL. Is this system, will it be complete before it's energized, or will you energize from Vegas to our substation as soon as that leg is complete?
Our intention at this time is to energize when it's entirely done. Right now, the energization is sometime in next year, 2027. The only reason why, because there's no point to energize all the way to Beatty when there is nothing connecting at Beatty. If there is a new resource that becomes available at Beatty within the next year, highly unlikely, then that will be the only chance that we will study energization. Because it's difficult to energize just a radial long 90 miles, 100-mile line without a full completion. So our intent at this point is to wait until the entire west is done from Las Vegas to Yerington, and then energize that middle of next year, 2027.
Anyone else? Okay, board members, any questions? Okay. Thank you, Shazad.
All right, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay. For possible action, discussion, and deliberation, ABTV to approve, amend, or approve or deny the following ABTV minutes. We're going one at a time. August 28th, 2025. I make a motion that we approve it. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Open it for public comment. Anybody? Okay. Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Just to be clear, they fell off the master of the agenda, and I didn't catch it. So we're going back and going through these. I make a motion that we approve the September 25th, 2025. Can I get a second? Okay, I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we approve October 28th, 2025. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we approve November 20th, 2025 minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Just bear with us here. I make a motion that we approve the November 26th, 2025 minutes. Okay, call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we approve the December 18th, 2025 minutes. Okay, call for the vote.
Aye.
I I make a motion that we approve the January 22nd, 2025 minutes. Okay, call for the vote.
Aye.
All right, thank you, everybody. Patience. Okay. For possible action, discussion, and deliberation to approve, amend, or approve or deny motion to purchase the fire department emergency equipment, Dymond back fire truck and rescue estimate 02062026-2 in the amount of $32,466. The funds to come from PSST account number 2635-30-2628-5610. Jessica?
Hello, Jessica Catermas, Kadrmas -WALTHOUR. Haha. Yes, this is the purchase of extrication equipment for our new Brush 42 tender. What we'll be getting out of this quote is we're going to be getting spreaders, cutters, spreader ERTs, which are the extensions to the spreader that make them a little longer for us to be able to get to those hard to reach places, as well as X struts, which are like stabilizing bars to prevent the car from rolling or whatever while we're trying to get somebody out of it. But yeah, that's basically it. We need tools. There's been plenty of times where we've rolled up while we've been waiting for the engine that has the tools, and we could have already gotten started. So having the second side of the tools would be really beneficial. Questions, comments, concerns, I guess.
Open it up for public comment. Okay, seeing none, I'll close public comment. Board members, any, Mike?
No, I'd like to go ahead and make the motion.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to amend the approval. I make a motion to amend the amount to the $32,466. Took away the sales tax, and especially in light of our audit, we can well afford this, and it's needed on our equipment. So I make the motion to approve the purchase price of $32,466.
I'll second.
Yeah. No, that's just the sales tax out. We're waiting to get an updated deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have that next week with the approval of our sales tax letter.
Okay, that's right. I mean, that was the amount on the agenda, so we're not really amending the motion. Okay. And we have a second. Anybody have comment, public comment? All right, I'm going to call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
For possible action, discussion, and deliberation to approve, amend, or approve or deny motion for AVTB to pay $5,000 towards estimate number 7807 from budget drilling for improvements to the senior center well. Total invoice is $19,760. Dave.
The senior center well is probably the last well in Nye County to be upgraded from old archaic electrical controls to variable speed drive, which protects the wells a lot better, protects the motors, the pumps, and so on. And we've worked for the last couple of years very diligently. We've had a lot of outages and a lot of issues, and we finally have got the county to work with us on trying to come up with a solution with budget drilling. It'll be a variable speed drive, disconnect on the pole, and it'll have a pump house, will contain pressure tank, the filtering system, and all the controls within a small shed, and it'll really clean up the area. So that's the extent of that whole, the work that has to be done. It'll be a new concrete pad also. It'll all sit on that. So that's the scope of the work, and Carolyn can explain how they've worked it out with the county to only pay part of that.
Thank you, Dave. What happened was there were funds, grant funds, through the year that were there for the county to pay it. And with the current administration pulling back a lot of the grants and things like that, that money kind of went to the wayside. They're now re-upping some of the money, so they asked us if we could pitch in, and so we negotiated $5,000 with the proviso that the county will not come back on the senior center for the remainder of the money. Because the money's there, it's just a matter of getting it, taking time. So with that note, I make a motion that we approve the $5,000 towards the estimate.
I'll second it.
I'm going to open it up for public comment. Trevor, did you say something? Oh, okay. All right. Close public comment and call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. For possible action, discussion, and deliberation, motion to approve, amend, or approve or deny purchase of short throw projector. This is, let me see, and I guess we'll come back for the screen. Mike?
What?
We're going to come back for the screen. We've only got the short throw projector on here.
We do, or we can add a total amount for the screen and see what it comes in at. So we could establish a maximum amount of, say, $3,000.
Yeah,
to
that's more
to
than
include.
enough.
You think the screen's more than that?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
We won't hit that, but I think all things considered, be better safe than sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so well then just do the short throw as it's stated on the.
Well, no, we can do both. I just want to make sure that we've got a dollar amount, because that's the important
Yep.
part. Who wants to make the motion?
I'll make a motion that we amend number 13 to include the dollar amount of $3,000 to include the screen.
Okay. So it's motion to approve and amend the purchase of the short throw projector and the screen.
Yes.
Okay. For a total of no more than $3,000.
Yes.
All right. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. I don't think your mic is on. Okay.
Second it.
All right. Call for the vote. Oh, I'll open it for public comment. Anybody have any questions on that? Like what a short throw projector is? Okay. I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you. Okay. General public comment. Up to a 3-minute time limit per person. Action will not be taken on matters considered during this period until specifically included on an agenda as an action item. Scotty? Dave? Everybody line up.
Based on Mr. MacArthur's report, or his audit of our finances, I think it's just a really a great thing that this board has been able to accomplish. And Mike's forever working with people like Jessica and the fire department and myself with the senior center, with the folks that work in the park and so on, and all the board members to make sure that everybody understands where the money goes. You get a clear indication every month when you come in what it's being spent on, how it's being spent, and where that number lies within the allocated budget that he's come up with for the year. So really a heartfelt thanks to all you guys. I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier to sit through one of these meetings. Thank you very much, Mike, and all towards you. Carolyn.
Thank you, Dave. Scotty? Tell us some good news. I'm going to try.
Calm down. Scott Harris, H-A-R-I-S. I have started we'll be starting a new position on Monday. And I'll be
Speak up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does that get up in here like this? Is that?
Not that.
Don't mess with it. Good? Is that? Yeah?
Back a little.
All right, my bad. Starting Monday, I'll be starting a new position as a safety specialist for T&D on the Green Link project. Because of that, I'll be relocating to Tonopah. So after 48 years of living in Amargosa, serving on the town board, serving 28 years with the fire department, I'll be packing up and moving. So I just wanted to take a quick minute and say thank you. Appreciate the town board for what you guys have done for the fire department and the time that we've been there, the support you've given us. I'd like to thank Brenda for not killing us when we were teenagers. She scared us a few times. Thank Jessica for Yeah, for just being a good teammate and a good friend, was a huge help. Thanks to Dave also for the support that the Senior Center gives and everything that he's done for the Senior Center. And it's been a pleasure being a member of Amargosa for 48 years of my life. As I'm old now, I'm 50, so it's rough. But I appreciate everything, and I appreciate you guys. So take care of yourselves, and I'll come back and visit maybe.
Oh, I know you'll be back, but it's quite a loss to the town. And I'll tell you what, it's your dedication and all the volunteering that you've done all these years with the fire department and the exposure that you've had with everything we've got coming at us. You stepped up and were the voice of the fire department in meetings for Mike and I. So when we needed somebody there, you were right there. Well-spoken, well-versed, well-educated on it.
And a great chest pumper.
Yeah, okay. I knew I should have taken that far, but I am very proud of you. Extremely proud. And you, with everything that we're facing in this town, it is a loss. So, but we'll still call on you. I know where you're going to be. So.
Changing.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott.
All
Seriously.
Right. Appreciate it.
Thank you and good luck.
Yeah. Anybody else for public comment?
I have one more because I didn't say it in my thing even though I had it in my notes. The fire department is doing Easter. Yay! So join us on April 5th in the afternoon from 2 to 5. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt, potluck dessert. We're asking for donations for candy. You could drop them off with me at the station. It has to be wrapped up. You guys know. It can't be a big bulk bag. It's got to be individually wrapped candy. But, you know, come on. Yeah, it's got to, unfortunately, like little snack bags, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, come on down, join us. If you want to help out, volunteer or whatever, you can get a hold of Miss Jennifer Lindsay. She's the one that's kind of spearheading Easter for us. Alrighty, that's it.
And you'll be doing 4th of July as well.
Yes, yes, we are already starting to plan for 4th of July. So be ready for fireworks.
Right. Thank you, Jessica. Anybody else? Okay, board member comments. Bobby, we'll start with you.
Not this time.
Mike. Should I come back to you?
So going along with our current, or what we discussed on the audit stuff tonight, our current expenditure status report, we are 62% through our fiscal year, and our expenditures are in the mid-40s. So we're staying under budget, so as long as revenue holds up. One thing though that I did notice in this current audit is we have worked from the get-go to have all this equipment stuff delivered into Nye County, and so that we would get the taxes off that. We saw no appreciable rise in the consolidated tax revenue. So really what's going on out there, how do we know that we did not see the projected revenue bump that we thought we were going to get? Because you all know there's been millions of dollars delivered into Nye County. When you look at all the projects around, and did any of it show up? No. So no surprises. I'm sure we all knew that. So otherwise, everything's peachy.
Richard.
I just want to make sure that everybody knows that the IPMC thing is on Tuesday. There's one in Pahrump at the BOCC, and then in Tonopah. What is that, 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock. Brenda.
I wanted to thank Mike for his diligence and keeping us on track. I appreciate that. And I would like to talk about the flooring in the community center. I would like to put feelers out towards the Nye County School District and the county commissioners to help fund that with the board's approval.
Okay, we'll put that on next month's agenda. Vote on it. Okay, number one, Brenda, thank you very much for the editorial that you had in Wednesday's Pahrump Valley Times. It was on the IPMC. It was factual and correct. and obviously against the IPMCs. You know, I don't care what they do with PRPD, but it doesn't need to be in District 1, just, okay. And to repeat, March 3rd at 10 o'clock, Tonopah and Pahrump, both, you can go to both. I think we're going to go to Tonopah because that's where our commissioner will be, and I'm going to try to get a couple other commissioners to go up there as well. Let me see. Yeah, Jean Adams has been moved to a rehab hospital tonight, so she's hopefully on the mend. And Mae Vassar passed away, just in case anybody didn't hear. We've had some exciting news. We got a lot coming at us. It's been relatively quiet on the solar front because of the Trump administration's, you know, we're not doing anything for 3.5 years. But that has rapidly changed. So there's, let's see, well, there were 34 projects that were sent to the NEDC, and that's the National Energy Dominance Council. And so they are steering how these things are being handled. There were 34, and 10 of them were green-lighted. 2 of them in Pahrump, the Mosey Project, and Purple Sage, all of our 3 auction parcels, Silver Star, Rock Valley, and the Says Zone NV Energy. And then we met with a company that I've been working with for a few months. They're going to be doing 2 private property projects. They're going to be submitting it to us and some to the BLM, but they are private property, the BLM for transmission lines, right-of-ways. And then, of course, the dairy project that we're all going to be meeting here on the 4th for the open house. And and that particular company, there's the 2 private property projects and one that they're still going to pursue on the 95, on the original map. So there's a lot of things coming back up to life because it's been pretty sleepy for a while. We've had to lay down yards and that type of thing. But we've never lost contact. This new one, they only came to light about maybe 6 months ago to us. So we knew of them, but they hadn't, you know, contacted us. So it's exciting, and we need to be, you know, aware and diligent. Other than that, I feel like I'm missing something, but we'll catch it next month, or I'll tell you by Facebook or something, okay? And on that note, I'm going to adjourn this. Huh? Oh, let's cut off. Oh, I wrote over it. Excuse me. For possible action, set date and time for March 26, 2026, board meeting at 6:30 p.m. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we have the board meeting on March 26, 2026 at 6:30.
Can I get a second, please? Okay, call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Mike? Thank you. All right. We are adjourned at 7:29. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have some brownies.